Hello and welcome to another episode of Connecting the Dollars. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most common mistakes we see when it comes to retirement planning and retirement saving. My name is Emily Agosto. With me, as always, is Amanda Vaught. Amanda, do you want to start with an overview?
Oh, yeah. So this is when someone leaves a job, whether by their own choosing or they're laid off. They typically have a 401k or other retirement savings plan from their job, and then they need to do something with those funds. It's becoming more and more of an issue since the recent Secure Act 2.0 required new 401k plans to allow for an automatic enrollment option. Now, a lot of people are being automatically enrolled in their workplace retirement plan, and they might not even realize it. So that when they leave the job, they're leaving money behind that's their money. But the reason this is an issue is because one, you lose track of the funds, or two, it's not invested properly. And then three is some of the fees that can happen. All of
Yeah,
them create a perfect storm of not good financial outcome.
right. Yeah. And so, as Amanda said, you're leaving the money behind while it's still yours. You're leaving it behind in the sense of losing track of it, not that you miss out on that money. But you kind of miss out on any of the gains, or especially if you're young, any of the compounding that could take place over 30, 40 years of being able to save.
I just ran a quick calculation that if you have $7,000 in a 401k, if you let it sit, don't add any more to it, and you assume there's an 8% rate of return for 20 years, that's more than $32,000. It's one thing to lose track of $7,000, which is not nothing, but losing track of $32,000, I think hits home a little bit more with people. Oh, yeah, that's a significant sum of money. And $7,000 is the number I use because that's when you can trigger an automatic rollover. So for small accounts left in a 401k plan, the administrator can roll them over into an IRA. And so they move them out of the 401k plan into an IRA. And sometimes when that transfer happens, that's when the funds can maybe be left uninvested. So they're not growing, or they're subject to different types of fees, which can eat away at an account.
Yeah, and that's called the involuntary rollover. And I know when I was like in my 20s, I was moving around a lot too. They might try to connect with you through a letter and it doesn't get to the right place.
And like, what's a rollover?
Yeah, when you're
Like, huh?
23, like,
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It's like a foreign language. Yeah, nobody explains this stuff to you, right? It just kind of happens.
something else you can do if you are switching jobs or starting a new job after being let go from one, you could roll your pre-existing 401k plan into your current 401k plan. And there's pros and cons to that. Amanda, what would you say are those pros?
Yeah. So a pro can be it helps you keep track of the funds, right? If you have a bunch of bank accounts in a bunch of different places, you're more likely to lose track of them. But if you consolidate everything into one place, it's easier to track, which is great. And then you always want to keep your beneficiaries up to date. So if you do want to change your beneficiaries, say you have a child, you get married, you get divorced, whatever happens that makes you want to change it, you only have to change it in that one place instead of trying to update beneficiaries at 10 different accounts. So just administrative wise, it's a lot easier. But investment wise, if you like the investment choices at your current employer's 401k plan, if you like the fee arrangement, different 401k plans are built differently. It can be a good move. It just depends on your current employer's 401k plan.
Yeah, so that's moving one 401k into another 401k as opposed to moving your old 401k into a separate IRA that's not related to either of your jobs. You would most likely have access to lots of different investments. You're not limited to just what's in your company's 401k plan. Additionally, you just have a little more control over being able to put funds in, take funds out. It's just a little more straightforward when you're not connected to an employer.
Yeah, there are some legal differences between a 401k plan and an IRA that could be relevant to somebody. Like, for example, you can take a loan out from a 401k plan. It's a different legal structure that governs how the different things you can do. I think for most people, the vast majority of people, it doesn't really matter. the differences between the two, but it can. But yeah, some people, they like the 401k plan because they have only a set number of options to invest in. It gets automatically invested for them. Other people would like more investment choice and control over what is happening within their account that you can get in an IRA.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and then the fees are different, right? So if your new employer plan could charge you a fee for having the money in there. If you keep it separate, maybe you don't have a fee. It just depends.
Yeah, and then as you get older or switch jobs more frequently and you keep rolling something over, we also go back to that first point we were making. You don't want to lose track of anything, but as those numbers get bigger and you keep rolling them into a 401k, that could potentially limit your ability to maximize the savings in your IRA or Roth IRA, perhaps. So just something to be aware of. If it's starting to get larger and maybe you're on your third transfer, that might be a time to think about maybe I should expand what I'm invested in or just look at other options. So nothing necessarily wrong with either choice. Just know that there are options, and keeping track of everything is incredibly important.
I think at this point we can bring up some tax planning could be involved, right? Because a typical or traditional 401k is money that has not been taxed yet. If you roll the money into an IRA and you take it out of your employer's plan, once you're in an IRA, you have the ability to convert it into a Roth and pay some tax on the money and convert it into Roth. So your future growth would be tax free. Whether or not that's appropriate for you depends on lots of factors, right? But you don't have that option necessarily if you roll into a 401k. Some 401k plans do have a Roth option that allows you to convert within the plan. The vast majority of them do not. So it gets more complicated. The bigger your account grows, more money, more problems.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, just a quick point going back to when Amanda was talking about automatically enrolling individuals in 401k plans. The majority of IRA plans are set up that way.
Yeah, more than 60% now are automatic.
So you could be enrolled in a plan, and it might be what's called a safe harbor plan where you're not actually contributing anything, but your employer is contributing a percentage or a minimum amount to this plan on your behalf. And so if you weren't necessarily thinking about it because it's not on your pay stub or it's not something that your money is actually going into that account, it can be really easy to lose track of that. That's especially important to check when you are leaving a job in whatever circumstance. Definitely make sure you find out. I mean, even if it's a couple $100, that's your money.
Yeah. And I've seen some confusion over that too. People saying, do I get this money? Is it vested? Does it have to sit here a certain amount of time? These are all valid questions and it's confusing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Reach out if you have any questions. Please send us emails at connectingthedollars@propel-fa.com. Send us a comment on YouTube, Instagram at Propel Financial Advisors. You can find us all over. So we hope that's helpful. If you think you have an old account somewhere, the best thing you can do is reach out. If you have a way to reach out to that old employer and find out at least where the account was, like the bank, the custody, and then maybe you can reach out to that bank and give them some information to see if they can look up any account you might have had in the past. Hopefully that's not your situation, but in the event it is, there are things you can try. I will end it there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.